Welcome everyone. I'm Dan Pruitt, President and CEO of Meals on Wheels and More. Our mission here at Meals on Wheels is to help homebound, frail, and elderly folks and people with disabilities stay in their home with dignity. And you being here, volunteering, is such an important part of what we do and who we are. We couldn't do it without you. What I want to do is take a moment to take you into our facility and tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do and what a difference you're going to make in the lives of thousands of people that we have the honor to serve. Welcome to our kitchen. Thousands of meals each day find their way from this kitchen into the community, serving people in need. Volunteering is such an important part of that. We cannot get those meals to the folks that need them unless volunteers are here to help us do that. It's such an important part of what we do. This kitchen gets bustling at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and all those meals are prepared and distributed all over our community, and then our wonderful volunteers pick those meals up and deliver them to people in their home every day, to senior centers throughout the community, and to folks in far-to-reach places throughout the Central Texas area. It's so great. Thank you so much for helping us. In addition to all the meals that we provide in the community, there are a multitude of other services, from home repair, taking care of people's pets, just a variety of services to serve people in a way that keeps them in their home with dignity. That's so important to all of us. And you play such an important role in making that happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. We appreciate it more than you know.
Meals on Wheels and More began delivering meals to Austin homebound seniors in 1972. Back then, 8 volunteers cooked and delivered meals to 29 clients 3 times a week. Nowadays, we have close to 7,500 volunteers and serve close to 3,000 people in need. But our mission remains the same as it was back in 1972, to nourish and enrich the lives of the homebound and other people in need through programs that promote dignity and independent living. The vast majority of our clients live below 150% of the federal poverty line. That means they must exist on less than $17,000 per year. When one of our clients moves into an assisted living facility, taxpayers will most likely foot the bill, which could cost as much as $37,000 per year. However, for $2,500 a year, Meals on Wheels and More can provide services and comprehensive case management designed to keep the client living in their own home and out of assisted living. So by helping us help those in need, you're not only putting compassion into action, you're also saving taxpayers money. Our signature meal program provides hot, nutritious lunches delivered by dedicated volunteers to the elderly and people with disabilities. Meals are delivered Monday through Friday between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. But as our name implies, we do more than deliver hot, nutritious meals to homebound clients. We also provide other services geared to keep the people we serve living at home for as long as they are physically able to do so. These programs, which offer opportunities to people who are unable to volunteer during the lunch hour, are Handy Wheels. Volunteers perform minor home repairs for clients. Groceries to Go. Volunteers go grocery shopping once or twice a month for clients who can still do some cooking but can't get around easily. Clients provide payment for all purchases. HOPE, which stands for Healthy Options Program for the Elderly. In this program, volunteers help bag and deliver free groceries donated by the Capital Area Food Bank. HOPE is geared towards clients who can still do some cooking on their own. Mike's Place offers respite care for people with Alzheimer's, dementia, or other memory loss. This free program, the only one of its kind in East Austin, takes place every Tuesday and Wednesday. PALS, which stands for Pets Assisting the Lives of Seniors, provides assistance with food and basic preventive veterinary care for the pets of our homebound clients. Today, we are going to focus on meal delivery training. However, if you're interested in receiving more information about any of these opportunities, please let one of us know and we'll put you in contact with an and more representative. To be a successful Meals on Wheels volunteer, it helps to know a few things about the wonderful people we serve. 67% of our clients are over the age of 65. 67% are women, 54% live alone. And as we mentioned earlier, 80% live below 150% of the federal poverty line. Due to factors such as physical or mental disabilities and age, many of our clients are homebound, cannot prepare nutritious meals on their own, and have little or no help from others. Although the majority of the people we serve are over the age of 65, we do serve younger clients with physical or mental disabilities. Regardless of their age, while most of the people we serve are long-term clients, it's not unusual for individuals to receive our services temporarily for several weeks while they recover from an illness or injury. Overall, we serve two types of clients: those covered by a contract with the Texas Department of Aging and Disability Services, or DADS, and those who are not. By the way, those who are covered under the state contract have met the state's income, age, and disability guidelines. Income is not a criterion for services, but those not covered by the state contract are asked to make a contribution if they can, but no one is ever turned away from services because of an inability to pay. Since more than half of our clients live alone, Meals on Wheels and More volunteers are often the only friendly faces and friendly voices they see and hear all day. Combine that with the fact that, according to studies we've conducted, nearly half of our clients who are 85 or older experience feelings of isolation and depression. Your contact with them is so important to both their mental disposition and their physical well-being. At all times, we ask our volunteers to be vigilant in their observations. If you see a client in a dangerous situation or in imminent danger, please call 911 immediately, and then contact our Client Services Department at 512-476-6325. Before we go any further, we'd like to share with you a few eligibility requirements Meals on Wheels and More asks of its volunteers. You will need a current driver's license from any state in the U.S., a vehicle that's in good working condition and has a current inspection sticker, liability insurance coverage for your vehicle, the ability to read a map, the willingness to allow us to contact a confidential criminal background check on you, to attend volunteer orientation training, to complete and sign a volunteer registration form and volunteer code. Individuals who are ineligible to volunteer are under the age of 18, unless accompanied by an adult, unable to pass a criminal background check, attempting to fulfill court-ordered community service hours. We designed our various programs in a way that benefits both the client and the volunteer. We understand you are volunteering your free time to help the less fortunate among us. Your reliability is as important as anything to ensuring we meet the needs of those we serve. Now, let's talk specifically about meal delivery. Our biggest need for volunteer drivers exists in areas on the east side of Interstate 35, North Austin, Central Austin, and Southeast Austin. If there is any way you can take a route in one of these areas, please let us know. We're constantly looking for drivers to serve that area because that's where the majority of our clients live. When you come to pick up meals, remember to bring 2 clean and insulated coolers, one for the hot meals and one for the cold bags. You'll check in using our very user-friendly computerized check-in system. Once you've done that, you'll receive a route sheet that lists each client's name, address, and meal type, and includes a map of your route. Keep in mind that your clients may change from time to time, meaning your route may change from time to time. Here's a typical route sheet. Your pickup date, location, route number, and your name are shown at the top. Below that, you'll find the total number of each meal type you will deliver that day. Then in the first column, you'll find the client's names, address, and birthdays. You may acknowledge the client's birthday, however, because many of our clients have dietary restrictions, we respectfully ask that you not bring gifts of food. An asterisk next to a client's name, which will be in bold letters, means they are new to the route. The second column lists the kind of hot and cold meals each client will receive. The third column is reserved for special notes. For example, many clients are slow to the door, and this is where details like that are listed. Be sure you receive a fresh route sheet each time you deliver your route, since route sheets and instructions are updated as needed. After completing your route, please tear up your route sheet and throw it away. Client information is confidential. Now, let's talk about the meals. The first thing you should know is that we prepare 6 different hot meals in 4 different cold bags in order to accommodate all of our clients' dietary needs. All meals are planned by a registered and licensed dietitian, and the meals supply 1/3 of the recommended dietary allowance of vitamins and minerals, meet USDA guidelines, and are low in sodium and fat. The second column on your route sheet indicates the particular hot and cold meal combination each client is to receive. As long as you match your client's meals to the color combination next to their name on your route sheet, your delivery will flow smoothly. We also provide extra meals for some of our more food insecure clients. Purple breakfast bags for those clients who receive 7 breakfast meals every week. Those bags are delivered once a week and contain all 7 meals. A percentage of our clients receive 1 or 2 frozen meals for the weekend. These additional meals are distributed on Thursdays and Fridays, and also any day before a non-delivery day such as Memorial Day or Labor Day. The frozen meals are placed in the client's cold bag, which means cold bags are always larger than usual on Thursdays and Fridays and may require the use of an extra cooler. Once again, all you need to do to ensure smooth delivery is match a client's meal to the information on the route sheet. Always double check the quantity and color of your meals against your route sheet before you leave your meal pickup site. Now, this part is especially important. Keeping your coolers clean is critical to the well-being of the people we serve. Here are some helpful tips on how to do just that.
As part of our mission at Meals on Wheels and More, we strive to make certain that the meals we provide to our clients are nutritious and healthy. We also want to make certain that the meals we provide to our clients are safe to eat. We follow several food safety parameters in our kitchen every day. This includes proper sanitation, safe food storage, preparation, and packaging of meals. This is important because foodborne illness affects several 100,000 people every year. This can even lead to hospitalizations or even death. Older adults are much more susceptible to foodborne illness because of their weakened immune systems. Therefore, it is very important to take extra precaution when working with this population. As volunteers, you can help us keep our meals safe and prevent foodborne illness. One way in which we do this is by maintaining proper food temperatures. Keeping food at the proper temperature prevents the growth of bacteria that both cause foodborne illness and other related illnesses. To maintain proper food temperature, you'll want to use a temperature control container such as one of these. You'll want to do so even if only delivering 1 meal. Please do not use paper bags or cardboard boxes. You'll need 2 separate containers, one to carry the hot food items and one to carry the cold food items. You'll want to use clean, non-cracked coolers with lids and always maintain a tight seal no matter which cooler or container you use. When delivering meals, minimize the amount of times in which you open and close the cooler and deliver the meals in a timely manner. Upon delivery of meals to our clients, kindly remind them that if they're not going to eat the meal right away, that they refrigerate it immediately and then reheat it thoroughly before consumption. The second way in which we prevent foodborne illness is through proper sanitation. Keeping our hands and coolers clean is important to prevent the spread of germs that cause foodborne illness, but also germs that cause the common colds and flu viruses. Before delivering meals, wash your hands with warm soapy water or use the hand sanitizing solution provided at distribution sites. When loading meals in your coolers, please stack them flat on top of one another instead of on their sides to prevent spillage. If you do notice a spill, please clean your cooler thoroughly before its next use. It is also important to keep our coolers clean on a regular basis. You can use dish soap and warm water, sponge and scour pad to thoroughly clean the inside lid, and outside surfaces of the cooler. If you're using containers such as these here, you'll want to thoroughly clean the insides. You can also use sanitizing wipes or a bleach water solution and paper towels. Whichever method you choose to use, you'll want to keep the container open so that it can dry thoroughly before its next use. Your work in taking the proper precautions to maintain temperature and proper sanitation is necessary to keep our clients safe. We want to thank you for your commitment and willingness to give back to the community to help so many homebound people remain living independently.
While you're on your route, please remember that you are the eyes and ears of Meals on Wheels and More. We strongly recommend you take a mobile phone with you while you deliver your route. If you notice something wrong with one of your clients, please notify Meals on Wheels and More immediately. Again, if you feel a client is in imminent danger, contact 911 at once and then call Meals on Wheels and More after that. On the other hand, if you believe a client is suffering from feelings of isolation or is in need of certain household items, please let us know. Your input is also helpful when we're creating route sheets. If you notice something unusual or unique about a client's home, for example, maybe their door is located down an alley, or maybe they have a large dog, and you don't see that particular item noted on your route sheet, call us and we'll add it. This type of information will in turn help other volunteers. This is important to keep in mind. If a client has an unrestrained dog in their yard, do not even get out of your vehicle. Call Meals on Wheels and More from your car, if possible, and report the issue to a customer service representative who will then attempt to contact the client and have them restrain the animal. Do not attempt to deliver any meal if you do not feel you can do so safely. As we mentioned, your route is designed to take about an hour to complete. Depending on the amount of time you choose to spend with a client, it could take more or less time than that. Usually, all it takes is a smile and a simple greeting to make a client's day. Others may want to talk a little longer. Sometimes a client may ask you to perform a minor task, such as checking the mail, if it's difficult for them to do it. We encourage volunteers to establish a connection with their clients. However, we ask that you remember that other clients are also waiting for their meals and that you need to ensure the food gets delivered in a timely fashion and at the proper temperature. Also, keep in mind that some of our clients contribute financially to the cost of their meals. This is completely voluntary and no client is ever asked to pay for services. However, if a client tries to give you a contribution for Meals on Wheels, politely tell them that you cannot accept the money and that they must mail it to our office. You'll also notice that many clients are hard of hearing, which means you'll have to knock loudly. If a client does not have a working doorbell, please let us know. So what do you do if a client doesn't answer the door at all? Please remain at the door and call Meals on Wheels and More. Tell the customer service representative who answers the phone that you are a volunteer on a route and give them the name of the client. The Meals on Wheels staff member will place you on hold and then call the client to make sure they're not home. If you do not have access to a phone while delivering your route and one of your clients is not home, please call Meals on Wheels as soon as you get back home or office. If the client is not home, you'll be instructed to proceed on your route and give that meal to one of the other clients on your route. If you have a client missed a meal card available before leaving the client's home, we ask that you place the reminder card on their door for the client to retrieve upon their return home. Now, this is important. If you have extra meals, you may give the meal to a client of the same diet type, or any client on a regular diet can accept any of the other colored meals. If a client's not home, there are two important things to remember. Don't leave the meal outside where it can spoil or attract insects. And don't leave the meal with someone else, such as a friend or neighbor, unless your route sheet explicitly instructs you to do so. Do not honor notes left by clients. Always go by the information on your route sheet. We've told you what to do if a client isn't home, but what do you do when you can't deliver your route? In that case, we will need to find a substitute driver to fill in for you. Some days we have as many as 50 substitute drivers, which often proves to be complicated, especially when cancellations come in at the last minute. Should you need to cancel, please try to give us at least 24 hours notice. The sooner in advance you notify us, the better. Avoid forgetfulness by placing reminders about your meal delivery on your calendar, computer, refrigerator, phone, car, any other place you'll be likely to see it. If you foresee any conflicts, call us as soon as possible. We give our clients a no excuses commitment that they will have a meal each weekday, and we rely on our volunteers to help us meet that important commitment. If you need to cancel your route, you can do so by calling us at 512-476-6325 and letting us know. If you're calling outside of normal business hours, please leave a detailed message for volunteer services. If you're canceling more than 2 business days in advance, you can also cancel your route by visiting our website, mealsonwheelsandmore.org, clicking on Volunteer, and then clicking on Need a Sub for my route. When you volunteer, you'll be expected to pick up the meals from your assigned delivery location, transport them to your client's home in clean, sealed containers, and notify Meals on Wheels and More if and when a client does not answer the door. The entire process should take no more than an hour. To sum up, clients can be slow to the door, so knock loudly and be patient. Do not leave meals outside if no one answers the door. Call Meals on Wheels, and a customer service representative will call the client to see if they are in fact home. When calling us in this situation, be sure to let the Meals on Wheels operator know you are a volunteer en route and provide them with the client's name. Do not deliver the meal if there's an unrestrained dog in the client's yard. Call Meals on Wheels to report this kind of situation. If you believe something is wrong with a client, call Meals on Wheels immediately. Your instincts and observations can play a big role in the safety and well-being of our clients. If a client has an emergency, call 911 immediately. Then call Meals on Wheels. Do not attempt to move the client or give them water. Ask the client if there's a relative you can call to stay with him or her. At the end of your route, tear up your route sheet and discard it. Information about our vulnerable clients is strictly confidential. You will get a new route sheet each time you deliver. If for any reason you are unable to volunteer on your assigned day, please try to give Meals on Wheels and More at least 24 hours notice. As we mentioned, sometimes you're the only person a client will see all day. Most of the people on your route live isolated lives. Half of the 2,400 clients we serve every day live alone. Please keep this in mind when you're out on your route and be friendly, upbeat, and positive. Please also be extremely vigilant. If you notice anything unusual or strange about a client's well-being, their living conditions, or their safety, please call Meals on Wheels and ask to speak to a social worker. You are the connection to the outside world for many clients. If a client mentions not having enough groceries, being unable to make a minor repair to their home, or that they're feeling lonely, please tell them that you will pass that information along to us. As mentioned at the beginning of this training, we have several and more programs designed to help clients with other needs, such as home repairs and extra groceries. Please feel free to establish friendships with your clients, but do not accept any gifts from them. Politely tell them thank you, but that you cannot take it. Please also keep in mind that every client has different dietary needs, and do not give them extra food items or snacks. If you'd like to give them other non-edible gifts, that's your prerogative. Performing extra tasks and giving extra gifts is in no way required by or sanctioned by Meals on Wheels and More. Your only job is to deliver the meals. Going above and beyond that is a personal decision. Do as little or as much as you wish. Please also remember that our clients' personal information is confidential and do not release it to any outside parties. If you get inquiries about a client from an outside party, please call Meals on Wheels and More and refer this issue to a caseworker. Thank you so much for making the decision to become a Meals on Wheels volunteer and for helping enrich and sustain the lives of the homebound elderly and disabled people in our community. Without you, organizations like Meals on Wheels and More would not be possible. Think about what an awesome service you provide. Every year, our volunteers reach more than 3,000 individuals in need each day. The value of those volunteer hours is more than $2.6 million. As the number of our clients increases and the needs of our community become greater, the value of volunteers becomes impossible to quantify. Your giving spirit makes our city a better place and inspires those around you to do better. Once again, thank you. We're confident that making a difference in the lives of your neighbors will make your own life even more meaningful and fulfilling.